there were some days yesterday, so you noticed a change in how they do this?
I noticed change when Teddy and Justin didn't play. And there was that tension existed around the team, players wondering what was going on. And I think the 2 days or the 2 games when they didn't play, it kind of washed itself out. So that's been done. It's put aside. We're moving on from that. But there still is tension or apprehension with every team in the league. All 700 or 800 players are wondering what's going to happen to their team or to them personally. And it's just what happens with the trade deadline.
Is it just a confidence thing with Justin Schultz that you saw that he just couldn't find that confidence in his...
Justin's first of all, he's a great human being. He's a great individual. You like being around him, and he does a lot of real good things in the locker room, and his personality. Guys like being around him, and he's going to get an opportunity with a new team. Belief system's really important for players. They feel when people believe in them or don't believe in them, and that can range from teammates to a coaching staff to an organization, even to the fans. And when you know somebody believes in you, you have a better chance at success. And you know, I take full responsibility as a coach for this season. The belief system dwindled a little bit with Justin, and I'm sure that affected him. So we wish him well. We know he's going to be have a good, long, healthy career in the league, and hopefully he picks that up in Pittsburgh.
He was good friends with a lot of those guys in there. They'd come up kind of together. In your experience, what's the dynamic when one of those guys, when somebody loses a good friend, and 3 of those guys really tight with him, and how does that progress?
Well, I don't look at it that way. I don't think you're losing a good friend. I think you're losing a teammate, because if he's your buddy, he's still your buddy. If he's playing in Pittsburgh, he's still a good friend, and you're connecting with him, and that's what friends do. They don't have to see each other every day. Losing a teammate affects each other. The ability to go have pregame meal with the same guy that you've had day in and day out, it affects you. It changes routine. For some guys, you have a safety net within the locker room where you can go and discuss things with them. Somebody's lost that if they use Justin in that situation. So, but as far as friendships go, I think that you continue on, and I sure hope you do, because if that's what friends do.
Todd, the effort that wasn't there at the end of the homestand was suddenly there in Los Angeles and Anaheim. How does the switch get flipped like that?
Well, pride has to kick in. We talked about that after the Ottawa game, and I don't think anybody was anywhere close to being pleased with the input into the games, you know, the last little bit of that homestand. And when the input is really weak and poor, the output's going to be even worse, and we proved that. So the fact that we went into 2 tough buildings and maybe had a little bit of fear in our game, and I don't mean afraid to play, but I mean afraid to lose. We became a scrappier team. I used that word the other day. We scratched and clawed for ice and checked our way, and were we pretty or perfect? Absolutely not, but it gave us a chance to win. It has to be that way from now till you know, middle of April, or we have no chance of success.
My apologies.
No problem.
The Islanders took it to the woodshed.
How about the Bears? Yeah. I thought you were going to start with that. Okay, but now let's get back to the Oilers. Okay, good.
Anyways, I digress.
Are you an agent now too? No.
You always have been. Always have been, yes.
Yeah.
Last time you played, the Islanders did not go well.
Nope.
And they've got a great record against the Western Conference this year. Just a thought on the matchup, and maybe why they've had the degree of success they have against the West?
Well, I can't speak for the rest of the teams out west, but they drilled us. You know, in every sense of the game, from the goaltender to the blue line to the offense to the defense to the power play, penalty kill, they absolutely drilled us that night. I would say they had their A game, and we were nowhere near ours, and things snowballed on us. So as you know, throughout your year or years, you have those games, and you've got to move on from them. So when I prepare, or we prepare our team tonight, there's not a lot of video clips that we're going to use from that game, because we were just that bad. So, but they're a very deep team. They don't get enough credit for that. They've given up 14 goals, 5-on-4 all year. 14. You know, some teams have given that up in a month. They've given up that all year. So their special teams are elite. They're very deep down the middle. You know, when you're second or third line center scoring 20 goals, that's that's awfully nice. So very deep, and their confidence level's high. So that naturally they're going to win more than they lose.
Todd, as a former Islander and now the coach of the Oilers, can you touch on just, how great the rivalry was in the 80s and the fact that tonight is the last time, they'll play in this building?
Geez, I didn't even think about that, but it's a real good point. And, unfortunately for me, I wasn't involved in either of those. I was, I think, in Springfield in the American League. So, but maybe even some of the younger people in here probably don't remember those series, but you'd remember them real well. But tremendous, excellent hockey. Wars. I remember, who was it? I think it was it on the Islander side or the Oilers? I think it was the Islander side, and they said that or was the Oilers? I remember the story. I think the Oilers, the first time they lost, Butch, they walked by the Islander dressing room, and those guys they had won the cup and they were dead. The cuts and bumps and bruises and ice bags, and the celebration was pretty subdued because they didn't, there was nothing left of them. They were worn right out. And I think Edmonton walked by and they were still a little bit fresh, and that was a learning moment for the Oilers to get over the hump. But the Hall of Famers that played in those games, the fan interaction at that time, it was pretty fun to watch for those old enough to remember it.
Todd, with Purcell being moved, and you've done it the last couple of games, with Passy and maybe getting a little bit of a look now at Hall and Draisaitl, just what have you liked about that and Zach's skill set, size and the skill combined?
Well, I think you maybe answered your own question. The size and the skill combined is what we're trying to get. Maybe open up the ice a little bit for Leon so he doesn't have to haul big bodies around. Taylor is a bit of a bully on the left side. Zach can be that on the right. He's had a lot of experience playing up in the lineup, and he's got some grit in his game which can open up ice there as well. So we're trying it for a while. I think as the season wears on, we'd like to find something that works for all four lines. We obviously need to score more than one a night to help everybody out on the team, and especially the goaltenders. So that'll be a goal of ours.
Thank you.